Things get real in the desert. Samberly is the worst.
And you sunk my battleship. Hi everyone, I'm Dane.
I'm Jackie.
And this is our review of episodes 8 and 9 of Agent Carter Season 2.
Now before we get started, here's your spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about a lot of details of the episode, so if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want things spoiled, go watch it and then come back to us.
Yes.
These two episodes, which aired back to back, they were all over the place. They were just the most extreme of every emotion possible.
You laughed, I cried, like actual tears. And
we all sighed at Samberly.
And then we just got mad at everyone else.
Yeah, basically. Like, we had this amazing comedic moment in the restaurant where the stereotypical Italian guy is yelling at his grandmother over the sauce while Peggy is just beating the living hell out of his lackeys.
In the background.
And it's just comedy gold.
Well, that's pretty much the only lighthearted moment of that episode because it picks up where, they left off, which of course had Anna in the hospital and everybody in like dire straits and everybody's like at the peak of their stress and emotion and
we just get this scene, this crushing emotional scene with Jarvis sitting at Anna's bedside, making her all these promises if she just wakes up. At which point Dane is just in tears.
I had to be passed the box of tissues.
Yep, we passed him the box.
Not even a little bit of shame.
And of course, we then see Jarvis going from this sad, desperate, absolutely reasonably so moment to just like aggro Jarvis.
Yes.
And it is scary.
He decides that he knows exactly what he needs to do and he's gonna do it no matter what.
And he did. Very unceremoniously.
Ooh.
Just pop.
That was probably in like every episode of anything I've watched on television because usually when someone's about to get shot,
there's a
moment or like a speech or like a hey you.
This is for but no.
Nope, just gets out of car, opens car door with one hand, pulls out gun with other hand, bam, bam, bam.
There was no monologuing. Jarvis just knew what he wanted to do, and that was so very out of character for what I would have ever expected from him.
Peggy gave him hell for it.
Until, of course, she found out the news about Mrs. Jarvis no longer being able to have kids, in which case it's like, all is forgiven.
Well, we joke about like the two of them and their interactions being like overly British and how every time
the most polite
like,
English relationship.
Whether they were like laughing together or joking or like bickering, it was always like super British. And then they're in the desert and have like the most intensely real, just throwing truthy, shady nonsense at each other that is just biting and just it was
very
really,
not British of them.
But it was intense, and I just like moments in the show where they get to be pushed to that like emotional limit.
Oh, and they did
acting.
Oh, they did. Speaking of good guys acting out of character, Wilkes, like what the hell, Wilkes?
So let me take this very brief moment to officially acknowledge.
Wait, but let me ask you. You still ship it?
I think it is pretty safe to say I do not.
I mean, once you hold a gun to her head.
Peggy Carter has officially sunk my battleship. I no longer, like you had been saying all along, you felt it was more of like an infatuation.
Absolutely. He's new, he's exciting, he's not engaged.
The biggest surprise for me was that because he's always been portrayed as this like
really good man.
Really good, level-headed guy. You didn't think anything of his motivations. In the episodes, he was always really worried. Like every time he spoke with Peggy, he's like, I don't know how much longer I can take this, and I just want to let go. But there was always a moment of like, no, it's okay, we'll get through this, right. And there's always reassurance.
And Peggy always tells him, you're a good man. Yeah. You can hang on. You're a good man over and over. But is he? Like after tonight? In
this episode, it just went from 0 to 100 real quick. He was like, all right, I'm going to make the decision. I would rather like be a douchebag scientist and survive.
So I have a question for you. Do you think it really was like Peggy was trying to argue, well, he's under the influence of zero matter, he's not responsible for his actions, or is it really just no, for science, for myself, for the greater good, like, I have to do this.
Well, he said at the end of the episode that it wasn't under the influence of zero matter. He was making his decisions of his own volition and all that stuff.
You believe it?
I believe so, because, you know, in those moments when you're faced with extreme situations, you're going to make some really tough decisions about what's going to happen.
Because there is a possibility that that's just him trying to get Peggy out of the way because he knows it's not safe anymore. But no, I believe he actually made that decision all on his own.
But it was really kind of cool to have the moment of, like, obviously we've been really intimidated and terrified by Whitney Frost and her, like, plans and motivations and how she's done everything, but then just to have that moment of, like, it was supposed to be me. She's so butthurt. It's so great.
It's true though. She thought that she was supposed to be the one who gets taken by the zero matter, and then no, it takes Wilkes instead. So that'll be interesting.
Out in the desert.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how it happens, how it all goes down with her versus Wilkes.
We have Thompson, whose motivations have always been back and forth, and is he gonna go with Masters, or is he really thinking of Peggy Carter's best interest? And in this episode, you still have this really unclear picture of what he actually wants to go down, because you think, finally he pulls his head out of his ass.
Yep, that's exactly. And I thought that's what was happening too, but now I'm just...
So many twists and turns.
I was still rooting for him. Like, he's kind of a dick, but I was still hoping he was a good guy at heart. But now I'm just...
Even if he's
confused.
Like siding with evil, his methods and his motivations are still real shady, and I still don't like it. So
I think he's trying to do the right thing, but he's just doing it the wrong way.
I want to really quick address the fact that
we have to talk about that dream
God.
sequence.
So the second episode, it started off as... Episode 9 was a glorious dream sequence.
Musical number.
It was a musical number. Finally, you got your wish. You got Angie back.
I got Angie.
You got Angie back because
and you got Rose.
And I got Rose.
More
and
Rose.
I felt like what they did is they knew everything was coming to a head, so they brought back everybody.
And Dottie for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, Peggy, I'm always gonna be in your head.
What are you doing here? Oh, it's fan service.
So they brought all the characters back to do an awesome, beautiful musical number,
with
dance
amazing
number,
costumes.
with Sousa being a heartthrob male lead, and Peggy and Haley Atwell singing. Who knew?
Also Sousa singing.
Also
Everyone's
Sousa
singing. It was just amazing and wonderful.
I want it. I'm gonna go home and watch it like 6 more times. I cannot say enough good things. Thank you, Marvel, for feeding the inner Broadway musical enthusiast as well as the comic book nerd in me, as usual.
I just turned to Dane during that scene. I'm like, is this happening?
I think we just held hands and smiled at the TV screen.
It was amazing.
Anyway.
So we need more dream sequences. If there's a season 3, give us more musical numbers. I'll take it.
Or in every Marvel thing. Can I get like Thor the musical? Like, can I just please? We only have 1 episode left.
Last one, episode 10. Any predictions?
The cliffhanger kind of left everything out in the open, like what's going to happen, who's going to survive that cataclysmic event that obviously is going to happen. Hopefully.
Yes.
Thompson has there's going to be that aha moment where it's like, all of this was happening because of this. Just like you said, you wanted it all to culminate in him saving the day or being...
Or at least helping or getting out of the way.
Right.
At the very least, getting out of the way.
Hopefully his motivations and his methods stop being so shady and gross. But
I think Wilkes, it looks like Wilkes is about to explode anyway, so I don't think Thompson is going to get a chance to blow the trigger like he's trying to.
Barring an entire new season or other story that develops, I'm pretty sure that Sousa and Peggy are...
a thing.
Together forever.
It's a thing.
Maybe he is the husband, like we've always thought all along that she makes reference to. Kiss.
I just want to see them kiss. That's all.
Like I said, I don't know if there's gonna be leaving on a cliffhanger, but
I hope not, because there might not be a season 3, but I hope there is. That's it for this week. please make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel somewhere down there so that you know when we have more videos. Also, don't forget to comment. Let us know if you have anything else to add, if there's something we missed, if you think we're wrong about something. If there's anything you just want to share, let us know.
If you want to celebrate glorious musical numbers.
Or the Sousa ship, just saying. Let us know in the comments.
And we will see you next time for the season finale of Agent Carter Season 2. Bye!
Bye!